Hello all, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how to save PowerPoint presentations onto a video format, MP4. Okay, so we have an open PowerPoint presentation in the editing mode, and first thing I'm going to do is, usually you have this the settings in the home position. There you go. That's how we usually have that PowerPoint presentation open. But if you click on a slideshow right here, then before you record the slideshow, just click on that Setup Slideshow. I'm going to point you to this area right here. One, you can choose the pen color, and you can choose the pointer or laser pointer color just by dropping the menu. By default this is red, pen is red, and also by default the laser pointer is going to be red, but I just changed that some time ago and I forgot to change it back. So I'm just going to, let's say we can change it to, well, leave it at green, and click OK. Now we can start recording the slideshow. When you press record slideshow, it's going to give you two options: start recording from beginning of the slideshow or from current slide. It's just some extra option. So just usually you're going to record it from the beginning, so right here, and then it's going to ask you to confirm that you want to start recording. Just maybe, I don't know, clear your throat or whatever, then start recording. Now once you start the recording, you're going to see a little timer. That is not going to be seen after you save this presentation in the video format, of course. Now just one thing I'm going to point, I did this on purpose. I did the slide 1 text, and I made it size of 100, and unit, who knows what the unit is, because it just the units appear just the numbers, so it's not important at this time. I chose the text to be 100, size of 100, because some of the students are going to watch these presentations on their cell phones, so you might want to size it up a little bit so some of the details can be seen. I just want to point that out. Okay? Now let's change the slide. I'm going to change the slide, and notice that I have no transitions at all. It's just from one slide to another without anything happening. No fancy transitions, zero. For the video purposes, choose no transitions. Just there you go. Slide 2. The reason for that is because some transitions take a second or two, or maybe sometimes 3-4 seconds to complete, and normally during the live presentation in the classroom you're changing the slide, and there could be some sort of a fancy transition from one slide to another, and you can talk during that time. We're not thinking about that, we're just doing it, right? But what happens here when you're recording the slideshow, during that transition time the voice is just being muted and lost, right? So just keep that in mind. The best thing is to choose no transitions at all, just the swipes. Now Control P for pen. If you press Control P, pen appears. Now see, I can draw things here. Normally during the time while you are presenting, during the live presentation or while you're recording, you are going to see the thickness of the line, just a really little tiny red, or whatever the color is of the pen, dot. You're going to see it just so you know where your mouse is. However, you are not even seeing that now because it's being recorded as a video. In the final version, that red dot is not going to be seen. You're only going to see visual effects when you press or left click the mouse and you can draw things. Okay? So try not to forget yourself and not use that red indicator dot indicating where the mouse is as a pointer to point things out while you're talking. Okay, now I want to point something out to you. If you press Control M, I'm going to press Control M. That ink, because whatever you add on manually during the live presentation, it's just called ink. That ink disappears, and if you press Control M again, it just comes back. Right? Now, try not to use this during if you want to make a video presentation, because it's not going to be recorded. It is going to look like it disappears while you're presenting it, but once that slideshow presentation is converted into a video format, it's just not going to work. That thing is going to stay. Instead, what you can do is press just a letter E, as in echo. Just press E, and that thing is erased. The only difference between pressing the letter E with no control, no shift, no alt key, just a letter E, when you press that, you can't get it back. With Control M, you can get it back. You can get it back, but only during a live presentation when you're presenting in a classroom. Okay, so now let's advance to the next slide, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop talking and then advance to the next slide. So stop talking, advance, there you go, and begin talking again, just so you don't lose the audio, because you think that you're recording while the transition is happening, but the voice actually is not being recorded. So Control L for the laser pointer. Again, Control L. Alright, I just pressed Control L and the little green laser pointer appeared. It's just like you can use that just as a regular laser pointer while you're presenting in the classroom using the real laser pointer. Nothing to it. Let's advance to the next slide. Control I for highlighter. So I'm going to press Control I, and my laser pointer changed into a highlighter. Again, in real life when I'm presenting, I'm looking at this screen, and what I see is I see where my mouse is by some visual effect of yellow highlighter little rectangle. You don't see that now while you're watching this video, and your students or whoever is watching the video is not going to see that after the slideshow is saved as in a video format. Okay? Only when you left click on it, you're going to and drag it, left click and click and drag, you can highlight things with the highlighter. And then again, do not use Control M for getting rid of the ink and getting it back. Just use the letter E. Simply, again, as I said before, if you use Control M, you think that it's erasing because it's going to show you during the recording time, but once you've finally presented in the video format, it's just going to stay there. It's just somehow how it works. Alright, Control M, basically this is what I said. Control M will remove the ink from the slideshow, but only during the live presentation. Only during the live presentation. I found that it doesn't work on the recorded slideshow. Avoid using it if you're recording a video slideshow. Instead, press just the letter E just by itself, and that is going to erase the ink. Okay. And what is ink? Ink is the freehand visual additions made by using pen or a highlighter. Might as well throw some definitions in. So as a summary, Control P stands for pen, Control L stands for laser pointer, Control I stands for highlighter, and use E to erase the ink. In order to finish the recording process, you can just press escape, and that process is going to be stopped. Just keep that in mind, that if you haven't gone through all your slides, then the remaining slides that you haven't done any talk over or voice over, they're just going to keep playing with duration of, I'm not sure, 2 seconds or something, like whatever this thing is set by default. So that, or if you just go through the end of the slideshow, then this process is going to be stopped automatically. But you're not done yet. In order for this file to be saved, so just go to File. This is basically, we're back in the editing tribe of the PowerPoint session. Press File, Save As, and any name. I just type bunch of Q's. Alright, so now by default it is going to try to save the presentation as a PowerPoint presentation, just as a PowerPoint presentation with no voiceover, nothing else. And what you need to do is you need to select the drop down arrow and navigate to this little format right here. It's MPEG-4 and video. So that's basically, you select that, and this is going to be this file type, MPEG-4 video, MP4. Now you can save that. We're ready to save. Press save, and now you can't close that PowerPoint presentation yet. Let's see what happens if we try to close it. Close it, and it's going to prompt me with a message that says this presentation is currently exported to video. Closing this presentation will abort all pending exports of this presentation. Do you really want to close? No. So just don't close that. So I'm just going to say no. You can see the progress by looking at this progress bar. So this is right here. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it says creating video, whatever the file name is, MP4, and here is the progress bar. It is going to take some time. It's a lengthy process for saving that, so you just might want to go and have a coffee and come back. Right? Okay, I hope this helps creating your lessons, and I hope this outbreak is over, and then we can see each other soon.